Hello everybody, it's Miss Adine. Today we are going to learn to turn freeform shapes into 3D forms. I'm starting with a ruler and a marker, and I am making just random sort of angular shapes. I'm doing it in a circular pattern. Nothing too complicated. I'm just having fun. My marker is a fine tip Sharpie. You could do this with a pencil or any fine tip marker. I would not try to use a crayon. It might be a little too hard. So now that I have my shapes, I'm putting one dot in the center because I want it to look like all of my shapes are exploding out. I'm going to use a ruler and a pencil for this. But you'll see I change my mind and go back to using a pen. And I'm holding my ruler to the center dot and to every place on my shape where the lines meet and form an angle, where it changes directions or looks like it's changing into another piece. So you can see how I do this as I go. The ones that are behind, you'll see that I'm lining it up, and I'm not going to go over the shape in front. I'm going to start at the end of my first shape and go on to the back. This is important. This is what's going to make it look like one is behind. As I work, I'm just making sure that I always line it up with the center line and every place where my shape changes and the lines connect. So you can see they're starting to look like they're exploding out already. Always do the ones that are closest first so that you can have them be in the front. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit so I don't make you crazy watching every line as slow as I can. I like the way it looks. I always take my ruler away and then line it up, so I'm really careful about that. And nothing in art is that fast. Everything that you do takes time. Now it's worth it to really take your time lining it up with the ruler, because if your lines don't stay at the center point, it won't get the effect of exploding out. Now this is something really fun. I always loved to do this when I was growing up. I would do it with random shapes or with my name in big sort of bubble letters. You can even do 2 dots and have it coming, some blowing up and some imploding. It's just fun. You can play with this a million different ways. Now you can see I'm almost done. I have just one left, and you could leave it here. I'm going to go further and add some color. So I'm using fine tip markers and Sharpie markers, and I'm doing different sorts of lines, vertical, horizontal, and diagonal. And I'm paying attention to which direction they go because I want them to follow the line of my shape. And I also want them to be different than the ones next to it because it'll exaggerate the effect of them being 3D. When you're doing this, you can use different colors for different pieces in them, or you can decide that every piece will have one color and one color only, or you could do it all in black. Now this part you could do with the color pencil if you don't have fine tip markers, or a regular pencil. It's just important that it is a sharp point or a fine tip. Unless you're doing really big shapes, you can't get that much detail out of a broad marker. Now this piece, it shows you how we went from a flat 2D shape to turning it into a 3D shape. And then we're using lines that creates texture. And most of my lines are very straight or diagonal or vertical. And I'm using lots of different colors. I like to keep things really bright. So I sped it up again so you can just see the finished product without spending your whole day hanging out. You can see that every one I add makes it a little bit more detailed and a little bit brighter. I consider this something really fun to do. Again, you can make beautiful designs and patterns. You could turn it into an exploding rainbow if you wanted to. See how many different ideas you have for this project. If you like this video, click the subscribe and like button. That way I know which videos interest you the most and I can make more of them for you. Enjoy your day. See you soon.